This is an introductory video for how to use the World Angus Evaluation. To start, head to the Angus Australia website. We're then going to click on the burger menu in the top left hand corner and go down to the World Angus Evaluation tab. This is the landing page for the World Angus Evaluation released in October 2023. Here is the page that will keep everyone up to date with new developments for the World Angus Evaluation, as well as further information. And we might just talk about that briefly because we do have a new education module as part of the Angus Education Centre. This World Angus Evaluation Education Centre module includes things such as understanding EPDs, background to why we're participating in the evaluation, how to take part in the evaluation, information on which traits are going to be published, the differences between EPDs and EBVs, as well as why a World Angus Evaluation accuracy is generally lower than TACE accuracies, what sires are going to be listed and how to compare their EPDs and EBVs, how you should use the results from the search criteria in selection, how often will they be published, as well as information on the TACE bi-weekly evaluation, what's next in the evolution of the World Angus Evaluation, and further resources and information. On further resources and information, by clicking on that tab, you will find a link to the search tool, as well as breed averages and percentile breakdowns. By clicking on the breed averages, this will open up a tab that gives us effectively the average for the World Angus Evaluation between American Angus, Canadian Angus and Angus Australia populations. By clicking on the percentile breakdown, this will open up the American Angus percentiles. Currently, we don't have percentiles presented for the World Angus Evaluation, but these American Angus percentiles for their population is certainly a good place to start and very reflective of the World Angus Evaluation. So if you are going to be looking for sires that are in a top or bottom percentile for certain traits, if that trait is also in the World Angus Evaluation, you'll be able to use these EPD numbers in your search criteria. But for now, let's head back and use the search tool. By clicking back on your tab that's open in the top left hand corner for the World Angus Evaluation, we can now scroll back up and go to the search tool. This search tool will open up Angus Online, which is the search criteria. Just some quick explanation as to what you'll see in this webpage, which is hosted by Angus Genetics Incorporated, which is a subsidiary of the American Angus Association. One of the first options you have is to look at what database that animal might be registered in, keeping in mind that some animals are registered across multiple databases. For this example, we're going to keep all three databases active in this search. For today's exercise, the first search that we're going to do is to look up an animal. This can be a partial name, and it's a very good feature that if you don't know how to spell the animal's name entirely, we can get our best judgment. Today we're going to look up a bull called Myers, Fair and Square. If we don't know how to complete the animal's name, we can put in a partial name. This will then bring up the animal search results. Again, we've only looked for the one animal. Just check that this animal listed here is the animal that you've been looking for. The blue hyperlinks will take us through to the American Angus Association or the Canadian Angus Association. And as we move across the page, we can see that there's different traits in production, management, maternal and carcass, including calving ease direct. We have birth weight, weaning weight, yearling weight, scrotal, corset, foot angle, calving ease maternal, milk, carcass weight, marbling, ribeye area, and fat. Some of these traits are different to what we're used to seeing in the TACE evaluation, and so for more information on traits such as ribeye area or fat that are quite different to our EBVs, please head back to the Angus Education Centre for more information. The numbers underneath each trait are the EPD, or expected progeny differences, which are similar to EBVs, and the decimal places are of course the accuracy. Again, the accuracy reported in the World Angus Evaluation is BIF accuracy, which is different to the EBV accuracy that we're used to. And so for more information, please head back to the Angus Education Centre. From here, you of course can click through to either the American or Canadian Angus Associations to see where this animal ranks within that population, as well as accessing the full pedigree, any genetic conditions, ownership, and percentiles within that population. The second search that we're going to do today, by clicking back, we're then going to clear out that search to start again effectively. Now we're going to put in some search criteria. to look for animals that meet our potentially our breeding objective criteria or our search criteria. Again, we're going to leave the 3 associations boxes ticked, but please feel free to investigate yourself by only selecting 1 or 2 of those associations. We're going to look for animals that in our search results are going to be descending by the trait that we're going to be looking for. And today we're going to look across animals within the marbling EPD. We can see that the ranges presented here are a minimum EPD and a maximum EPD. And of course, we spoke about how to find the average EPD for the World Angus evaluation. For today's example, we're going to put in a minimum of 1.9 EPD and up to a maximum of 2.38, which is the maximum EPD displayed. Remember, we need to also click on the marbling click button here, which will make sure that we get the descending search results by that marbling trait only. We're then going to go down and click search, which again will bring us up our report. The top boxes here across the top of the report indicate what traits we've put selection criteria into. And we have now 19 sires that currently have animals within the evaluation and have been eligible to enter the World Angus evaluation. 19 sires that met our selection criteria for marbling. We can also see if we scroll across to marbling, which is in this trait, we also have them listed in descending order from the highest marbling EPD through to the lowest marbling EPD. You'll also notice that as an example of the World Angus evaluation, there are animals that are registered just purely to the American Angus Association, America and Canadian Association, as well as the Australian Angus. So this is a great example to see where these animals rank for that trait that we've listed in descending order, remembering that only the top 300 search results will be displayed on this report. Our final search criteria that we're going to do today, by clicking back or refreshing your search page, again, we're going to clear out any of our previous searches, make sure these boxes are clear and ready to go. We're now going to put in a range of criteria, and this may be something similar to a breeding objective search for traits that are important for selection. For this example, we're going to use Calving Ease Direct. That ranges from -22 to 23, so we're going to put in a minimum there of 15 and a maximum of 23. For yearling weight, we're going to put in a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 100. For claw set, we're going to put in a minimum of 0.50 and a maximum of 0.75. And for our last trait, which will be marbling, we're going to put in a minimum of 0 and a maximum of 2. These are our 4 traits that we're going to use. So again, go down to the search button at the bottom left-hand corner. This will bring up all animals that meet our selection criteria. So across that whole population, and we can just verify the traits that we've elected to sort on, there are 131 sires found within that population. Again, we don't have these listed by descending or ascending order, but these are the sires listed in this report that then meet our criteria. And again, we can see that there are animals listed across all 3 associations, giving us the great power of the World Angus Evaluation search result. If you would like more information about how to use the World Angus Evaluation search tool, please visit the Angus Education Centre, or alternatively, contact Angus Australia and speak to one of our member services officers or extension officers, which are based throughout regional Australia and New Zealand.